It's the most recognizable piece of paper on Earth, a single symbol of power, wealth, and survival. But the story of the US dollar is not just about money. It's about wars, revolutions, and the rise of global empires. From Spanish silver coins to digital currency debates, the dollar's history is the story of America itself. Today, we're unpacking the epic journey of the dollar, how it started, how it became the world's most powerful currency, and why its future may be on the edge of collapse. When America declared independence in 1776, it didn't just break away from the British crown. It had to invent an entirely new financial system. The colonists were broke. They were fighting a war against the most powerful empire in the world, and they didn't have enough gold or silver to pay soldiers. Desperate, the Continental Congress printed its own paper money, called Continentals. But there was a problem. Nobody trusted it. With no gold or silver backing, inflation exploded. By the end of the war, Continentals were so worthless that people joked, "Not worth a Continental." That's where the phrase comes from. So where did the word dollar even come from? Believe it or not from Britain, but from a small town in Bohemia, in what's now the Czech Republic. Back in the 1500s, silver coins called thalers were minted there. That name evolved into dollar. Spanish silver dollars, known as pieces of 8, flooded the New World and became the most trusted coin in early America. So when the new U.S. government needed a currency in 1792, they copied the Spanish dollar and made it official. The dollar was born. After independence, America had one big question. What makes money real? Should it be backed by gold, silver, or just the government's word? Alexander Hamilton, America's first Treasury Secretary, argued for a strong central bank to stabilize the currency. Thomas Jefferson disagreed, fearing that too much financial power in Washington would crush farmers and ordinary citizens. This battle between strong centralized banking and distrust of government money would shape America's future for centuries. The Coinage Act of 1792 set up the U.S. Mint and defined the dollar in terms of both gold and silver. For decades, silver dollars and gold coins circulated side by side. But every time the government printed paper notes, especially during wars, the question of trust returned. During the Civil War, President Lincoln issued greenbacks, paper money not backed by gold or silver, to fund the Union Army. It worked. But once again, inflation followed. After the war, Americans demanded stability, and in 1900, the U.S. officially committed to the gold standard. Now, every paper dollar could be exchanged for real gold in the Treasury. By the 20th century, the U.S. dollar wasn't just America's money. It was becoming the world's money. The Great Depression nearly destroyed faith in the dollar. Banks collapsed, people hoarded gold, and the economy spiraled. To stop the bleeding, President Franklin Roosevelt did something radical. In 1933, he made it illegal for Americans to own most gold. Citizens had to turn it in to the government in exchange for paper dollars. That gave Washington control of the gold supply, stabilizing the economy at the cost of personal freedom. Then came World War II. When the dust settled, the U.S. was the richest nation on Earth. At the Bretton Woods Conference in 1944, world leaders made a historic decision. They pegged their currencies to the U.S. dollar, and the dollar itself was tied to gold. This system made the dollar the backbone of global trade. The American dollar was now king. But kings don't always stay on their thrones. By the 1960s, the U.S. was spending massively on the Vietnam War and social programs. Other countries realized America was printing more dollars than it had gold, They began demanding gold in exchange. In 1971, President Richard Nixon made a shocking announcement. The U.S. would no longer redeem dollars for gold. The gold standard was dead. From that day forward, the dollar became a fiat currency. Its value came only from trust in the U.S. government. Many predicted chaos, but instead, something surprising happened. The dollar got stronger. How? Because of oil. In the 1970s, the U.S. struck a deal with Saudi Arabia. All oil worldwide would be priced in U.S. dollars. This created the petrodollar system. If you wanted oil, and every nation did, you needed dollars. That kept global demand sky high. By the late 20th century, the dollar was more than currency. It was a weapon of geopolitics. Countries that defied U.S. interests could be cut off from the dollar-based financial system, crippling their economies. At the same time, trillions of dollars flowed into global trade, U.S. Treasury bonds, and foreign reserves. Today, about 60% of all global currency reserves are held in dollars. From Tokyo to Paris to Johannesburg, the dollar is everywhere. In the 21st century, cracks are starting to show. The U.S. has racked up massive national debt. Inflation spikes make people question the dollar's stability. Meanwhile, rivals like China and Russia push for alternatives, like using the yuan or gold in trade. And then there's cryptocurrency. Bitcoin and digital currencies challenge the very idea of what money should be. Will the dollar stay supreme, or is the world heading toward a new financial order? The story of the dollar is still being written. From silver coins to greenbacks, from the gold standard to the petrodollar, it has reinvented itself time and again. Its survival depends on one thing: trust. As long as the world believes in the dollar, it will remain the most powerful currency in history. But if that trust fades, the fall of the dollar could reshape civilization. The dollar built empires, toppled nations, and decided wars. But is it unstoppable or living on borrowed time? What do you think? Will the dollar remain king, or will a new currency rise to take its place? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more history deep dives just like this one.